Hello and welcome to Giving It Beans, episode 2. This is the second episode of our pilot season, and today our guest is Jack Lloyd. Tell us a bit about yourself, mate.
I'm Jack. I'm from Red Hill. I'm currently studying neuroscience in I'm second year of neuroscience. I recently won a boxing match.
Yes, and that's going to be
a big topic of today's.
A big theme of today's episode. Don't you
yeah. worry.
We're going to start off with the Danny's Parks review, as we talked about most of last episode. We're in Danny's Parks football team. It's going to be a weekly segment, and then we'll bring Jack into it, and the rest of the episode will be focused on Jack and our guest. So, Danny, do you want to talk about the game on Sunday a little bit?
It was one of them. It was we started off 10-15 minutes, some world class football.
I think it was. Yeah.
There was some tiki taka football going on. Our lovely Dan himself actually managed to bag himself a brace with his girlfriend present,
Obviously.
breaking the curse of bringing the lunch.
That is impressive.
Got a win.
Finally, he's gone ahead in the Golden Boot race as well, which that's another story itself. But unfortunately, after going 2-0 down, all hell broke loose. We had a couple mistakes, couple errors.
Some goalkeeping shenanigans, I would suggest, potentially.
An own goal.
An own goal, yes.
Some dodgy defending. We have to. Sometimes you got to. Some dodgy defending.
Sounds like you start recycling some players.
We need to.
Some people got to go.
Recycling and
who's
just
scoring his
booting,
own goal?
Ooh,
Let's name and shape.
It was Jack. Jack scored an own goal. Not Jack.
Different,
Honestly not.
Different Jack.
Yeah, different Jack.
Went and bagged quite an unfortunate own goal, but an own goal nonetheless, which put us in a horrible position.
Yeah.
And we eventually lost the game 4-2 after going 2-0 up.
Yeah.
In the first 10 minutes, which wasn't nice, and it also, just to make us feel even worse, completely dampens our promotion charge.
We can no longer get promoted this year, which has been the aim all year. We have definitely improved, but next season I think
Not on paper.
it's been big for us next season.
It's our year next year.
We've got our belief, haven't you? So
You gotta let the team gel together.
exactly,
You know,
that's what I'm saying. So,
Rome wasn't built in a day.
exactly.
New lads.
Get a few new lads in next year. Hopefully some better talent. I have to be brutal.
No, but it was Dan won man the match in the end, obviously for his brace and showing up like that.
It was one of. I mean, Dan's had a lot of good performances this season, but I think the couple of weeks before this week, he'd been a bit shit.
He was.
Got some new boots. He's not been
His
quite
new boots have
himself.
been awful.
Finally, those boots have warmed up, and now they backed him a brace. So
Dan posts on Deco is not a Dan I want, but
No.
Dan this week,
hopefully, he can keep it up.
in front of a tough crowd as well.
Yeah, there was a
He
big
did
crowd.
very well. And Dick of the Day. We hate to, it's a segment we've got to, it's something we've got to talk about.
Yeah.
We hate to throw people under the bus. It's something we've got to talk about,
I don't hate it.
but Bath loves it. Bath hates bars. Our Dick of the Day was unfortunately Connor Bosworth. It's hard to blame the goalkeeper. They're in a tough position, especially in 7-a-side when there's shots flying in from everywhere, but unfortunately it just was not. Especially after he got 2 man of the matches in a row for our team and another team.
Yeah.
And I think it's
It's
just
gone to his head, hasn't it? Yeah.
unfortunate. And there was they had one player in particular. Albion is who we played, by the way.
Albion FC.
They had one team. It was this French bloke up front, and it
About
was just
6'8", quite jacked, quite quick.
10 feet. It was just incredible. Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Some people are built for sport,
Yeah, it's just
on
fast.
that note, let's move on to some more bright sporting news from the weekend.
Do you want to talk us through each
Jack
other?
got my beautiful housemate. Let's say have his speech on his boxing fight.
Well, I recently won a boxing fight. I've been training for a few months. It's a white collar boxing fight. It's at this sports village, and basically you get there around 2 p.m. The fight is at 6-7 p.m. So you got about 4 hours to kill there in the middleweight. Everyone's sat around in a circle. It looks like in an AA meeting, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is just upset. Like you can sense like people are talking. There's like nervous energy. In the room, you know what I mean?
It's quite an age range as well.
Yeah.
Got some,
It's very
50-year-old
interesting.
blokes
Like,
there.
You're also friends with some like 40-year-old guy. Like, you're right, mate.
Just been divorced.
Exactly.
He's got
Bricklayers.
One of the guys.
He's got some demons to bury. He's going to take out on some 16-year-old. That's what I'm saying.
One of the guys I was sparring with him one week, and he said, "Yeah, I had a heart attack a year ago. And now I'm here." I'm like,
So I mean, he's just not going to lose a
and
fight.
after that, listen. The
That is
thing
a
is
good
though, after that, I aim for the heart. You can't tell.
You
people
gotta
these
aim
things.
for the heart.
You can't tell people these things. It's sparring, man. Yeah, did die. unfortunately, later that evening.
That is a shame.
Big
That's
shame.
not what you want.
So if we talk about the fight itself, it was obviously it was a first round knock. Well, was it? It was a knockout.
Yeah, it was a TKO.
TKO. So
So yeah, when you get in there, basically they do standing counts for white collar boxing because it's a little bit the ref I think wants you to be safer than in a normal boxing match because obviously like a lot of people don't have much experience.
yeah.
But yeah, so I got 2 standing knockdowns on him, and he was very fucked up. He was not. Yeah.
No, yeah, because we were quite drunk. So
Yeah, we had a few.
we were quite drunk
Yeah.
watching, but even watch because we got a video of the fight and we were
Yeah.
just watching it back. Jack
was
the
just
shit out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Jack was gonna be good, but
He's just
he didn't surprise
poor
me.
bloke. I do feel bad for
Yeah.
him.
It's interesting because I actually looked at the video as well, and I think I know what he did wrong. You know,
Yeah.
in boxing, like it's very like a very classic thing to like put your hands up like this because you don't want them to punch you. But if you do that, then if you do it like this, then you can't see what they're doing.
Oh, that's not it.
And the thing is, that let me keep. That's all he's doing, right? So it just let me like load up punches,
Oh, yeah.
and you can properly like because in a normal fight, obviously you can't swing properly because it telegraphs the punch. Like if I throw like that, you're gonna see it coming and be able to dodge quite quickly. But if you're fucking hidden behind the shield, you can't do the same thing. So I can load up those punches and it's fucking.
I was speaking to some middle-aged man while the fight was going on, and he was praising your jab. That was what he just kept talking about. I just didn't know why I was talking to him. As I said, we'd had a few beers.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, right, your mate, he's good because he's got that jab, and he keeps looking for that jab.
He loved that jab.
And he goes for the big one. And that is, I think that's what.
There was-
strong at,
There
obviously.
there were points where I was literally holding his head back with my
Yeah.
fist because I was getting annoyed that I wasn't landing the right hand. So I was literally like, right, you stay fucking there. Let me load it up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying when they just hide behind that and that shield is tough.
It was sick. But obviously there was the highlight of your fight. You're all very excited, very happy. You've got about 10 more fights to watch, you'd think.
30.
30 more fights
He
today.
was
There
the
were
third
30
fight.
fights.
So he was the
Right.
third fight. There's meant to be 26 more fights. I think,
Yeah,
Jack's
yeah.
fight.
But unfortunately things took a bit of a turn for the worse in terms of
You know, I was talking about that the bricklayer who's just lost the kids, just got divorced. Well, one of them was there, and he might have killed someone.
we don't
I
know
know.
yet.
Actually, have you heard him?
Have we heard any
I
of
have
the
not. I have not been back to the gym since this happened.
Okay,
But-
so we don't.
So we don't know.
This guy got properly knocked out.
Yeah,
it was
all
like
the
a
medics were on him,
five-man
and they
paramedic
basically had to cancel the event because all the medics had to give this guy attention.
He was out.
Hopefully, we hear about a refund or something. I think we get something.
No, seriously.
Ultra white collar boxing.
He was properly stretched out though, you know.
Oh,
like
yeah.
oxygen
Yeah, he was on
like,
pumps, man. He was on
Yeah,
the
It wasn't easy to watch. It was easy to watch because we drank a few, but
yeah.
it still wasn't. It still was. It was a sobering moment. I think.
He just ate 6-7 punches
Yeah.
in a row.
He was honestly,
Half
and he was
of
winning the
that.
fight.
He was winning the fight. First 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I think we all.
It's interesting. He because I knew him quite well. He thought he was going to lose that fight to that guy because that guy who he fought was like coaching me and that guy in training.
Yeah.
So like it's a guy coaching and training. You're like fuck, I don't think I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
Like yeah, exactly.
Shit.
And those old guys there just have that like weird strength
Weird, yeah.
that you don't expect. from
Farmer
them.
strength.
Yeah. Like you go body sparring with an old guy, which basically you can't go ahead, so you're just fucking firing off shots and they kill you. Basically, do not stop.
It was because there was a bloke next to us as well who we had this all like everyone was kind of like in the same kind of gear, the red and blue gear.
Yeah.
And there was some bloke like he was just in this weird like green highlighted jacket, holding up like he apparently said he wanted to fight KSI at some point.
Yeah.
Or something was like he was like posing with Prime and going like
Yeah.
fuck Prime and all this. I really would have quite liked to see him fight.
I would have quite liked to see him get knocked out. It's a more honest way of putting it.
Yeah.
If we're all honest.
That was a crazy 200 quid jacket. That was
£200.
200 quid. Yeah.
Just to
They're
not fight.
ridiculous.
It's not a fight, yeah.
He wants to turn pro though. I talked to him about it. He wants to.
You've got to respect the ambition.
Yeah. But I don't know. He wants to do these events like till he turns pro. I don't know if that's the way to do it. Maybe.
Everyone's got their own path, I
Exactly.
suppose.
Are they rescheduling the fights that were missed?
Yeah, they're rescheduling for the next one. I don't know about tickets. Like obviously, I'll ask about that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so last week we did some predictions about some more light-hearted aspects of the boxing. What do we do? Is who's going to throw up? Who's going to fall over?
Yes.
Who's going to get too drunk to not remember the fight? Was there any candidates for any of those?
I mean, Grace didn't quite make the fight.
Right, yeah.
So,
Right, Grace fell
did
over
see
a
the
couple
fight.
of
Grace
times.
technically
oh,
did
did
see
you
the
watch
fight.
the fight?
No,
Then?
no, Grace saw the fight, but after
Yeah.
the fight,
She
she
was
fell
on.
over.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really talk about Grace last week, but
But that's okay, bro. You know, she was there.
She was there and she was
She
enjoying
watched it.
herself.
Yeah, exactly.
so she was there supporting. And throw up, didn't anyone throw up?
I don't think anyone threw up. Frank.
Frank,
Story.
yeah, well, this is not something you could really predict
No.
beforehand, but yeah, Frank might have got taken over in a police car. I feel like that's a story for him to tell. Maybe when we get him on. Maybe when we get him on. But yeah, all was fine in the end, and it was a great night. One of the best nights I've had at uni for sure.
Yeah,
And
it was expensive.
thank you to Jack. You know.
Yeah, no, it was a great night. It's a shame when you get to see the rest of the fights.
Yeah.
That would have been very interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that the Green Jack guy also matched up against a very good boxer.
Oh, really?
So it would, yeah.
That would've been a good fight.
Classic.
It's one of those guys still on pads and you're like, I really fucking hope I'm not fighting that
Oh,
for
right,
4
okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, fair enough.
Do you think you're going to go again?
I don't know.
Anything again?
It's a possibility. Obviously, like the issue is like there's a lot of brain damage in boxing.
Yeah.
The human body is not built for repeated blows to the head.
No.
Surprisingly, who would know? But like, yeah. So no, I really enjoy it. But you got to balance it.
Yeah,
at
you
the
don't
same
want to push
time.
yourself too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because eventually with boxing, you do find someone that is.
It's going to give you 5 paramedics around you.
Yeah, exactly.
Get you stretched out on oxygen.
I mean, exactly. That is the fucking game. So, I don't know.
Anything else, gentlemen, on the boxing, or should we
Move on.
Right, so it's that time of the week. I think it's going to be the favourite part of the week. Clayton behind the camera.
Is he back?
Give us a shower thought, my son. And we can dissect. He's thinking. That's it.
So many thoughts.
He's thought a lot
That
this
is-
week. Clayton's been in his,
There's a lot of
Clayton's been in his
showers.
fields,
There's a
listening to
lot
Juice
of
WRLD,
showers.
you know. He's
There's a lot of
obviously scrolling, bro. I'm
nervously
sure
scrolling, he's shaking over there.
It's a little insight into his like nervous mind
Yeah.
as well. Because last time we got to see some really,
Predicting the mind.
really quite depressing thoughts.
Yeah.
Clay, will we ever get a face reveal? How many subs?
We're
for face
waiting. We're
reveal?
waiting.
I
for
think
the
at
season
least
finale.
a million
Thousands
subs.
of
millions.
millions.
Right, 50
Wow, okay.
subs, you get a Clay.
1,000 is fair.
50 subs.
50.
I think we have
I
to
think
be
it'll be
realistic.
ambitious, bro.
Gotta be
No,
realistic.
2 mil.
2 mil?
2 mil.
Right, okay, 2 mil.
Fuck it, 5.
Right, Clay, come on, we ain't got all
5
day.
subs.
5 subs, yeah. Not even 5 mil, 5.
Just 5 subs.
Scrabble is a reverse crossword.
What?
Right, someone else, please dive in.
I don't like.
He's not wrong.
He isn't wrong, but like, so.
Suppose that in a crossword, you're spelling words based on prompts.
So he's just wrong.
But whereas in
No, it's not backwards though. Yeah, that's simply
in
not what it
in
is.
Scrabble, you are thinking of a prompt based on what you can put and spelling a
Stop
word.
trying to make it work. It doesn't work. Honestly, this that's the best waffle I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
You
It's
wanted
taken
it to work.
absolutely nothing.
You
and
really
right
wanted
with
it to work.
This is just the abstract mind of Alfie Clayton, and this is
Exactly.
eventually. I think after maybe 1,000 episodes, it could take a million episodes.
We've gone from the
One day we
deepest
might
thoughts.
just get a glimmer
Oh yeah,
of
yeah.
the mind.
We've gone from a clear, deep, issue that Clayton feels in the shower to just some absolute drovel he gets on a random Monday morning. Have you heard anything
Clay,
else
take
as
us to
well?
a better shower.
That was shit.
Surely you've had other thoughts that are a bit more.
This is a good one.
Right,
This is a good one.
We've had some
Alcohol commercials promote youthfulness, but sell the things that make you age quicker.
Oh.
I like that.
That's
True.
political.
It's true.
Denny, you take it away. I think you're a good as an alcohol man.
Fanatic. That's a
Yeah, you're an alcohol man.
I'm a mild alcoholic.
You are basically the next coming of Wales.
It's not-
because,
it's not
I feel like
coffee.
it actually isn't coffee. So yeah, what do you say to that?
I think to an extent it's true, but I think alcohol, can you say it doesn't, it's the thing that removes youthfulness? I feel like it's encapsulates youthfulness. Because if you're an alcoholic at a young age, you're not an alcoholic, you're just a great bloke.
I don't know.
Or
I don't know if you
woman.
can follow the logic there, bro.
But if you're an alcoholic, if you're an alcoholic at a later age, you are an alcoholic.
True.
If you're before 30 and drink a lot of alcohol,
Yeah.
you're just good crap.
It's before you start to show signs of aging.
What's an alcoholic?
As soon as you start to get the grey hairs, you need to stop drinking.
Exactly.
I think this is kind of what Clay was getting at. Like, you get old because of alcohol. You know,
Do you?
I think I get what he means. Like alcohol, usually it's youthfulness. Like you watch these like, oh, they're just some sexy woman.
That's what I mean.
Or there's like with like I don't know, like some of this cider and stuff. You'll just see young people just going out.
And call it right or wrong, but if you walk into a bar,
Yeah.
you see, 22, 23-year-old man, prime of his life, pint in hand, probably a Carlsberg.
Yeah, I think anything.
Cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
Start with a Carlsberg, you're like, brilliant, good lad. He's enjoying himself. You walk in, there's a 6-year-old bloke sat by himself with a pint of Carlsberg. What are you thinking? You're not thinking he's enjoying himself.
Oh no, but it depends on the mood. When I was at a restaurant, I used to. It was a nice place, and then it's like £6 pint. And in a summer day, we had like outside seating, and a guy would come in for a pint, an old man, and that shit was like. When I saw it, I was like, that's
what I want to be.
He's just watching like the fucking cars go by.
It's healthy.
Very like peaceful, like yeah. I was like that. I want to do that shit a lot.
Yeah.
And I think different alcohols will encapsulate that.
Yeah, I think beer like is
if you're looking at like a Corona advert or a VK advert,
someone's drinking a VK like past the age of 25. VK is probably a paedophile. Like,
you're having Gary Glitter
or
VK is
kind of
it's a club drink. You want to get fucked up eating in the club. It's the only place you buy it.
Yeah,
but Corona is.
You say that, but you always see that one reprobate. It's just 5 o'clock and he's on VK. Your teeth are gonna look like fucking.
It's our wonderful goalkeeper, Ben Lewis. Whenever you come across Ben Lewis in the club and he's got a claw of 3 VKs in his hand,
we know what
4 more in this.
We know what Ben Lewis can do in a club, so I'm not gonna slander this man. VK is not my drink of choice, but we've seen what he can do.
This is what I'm trying to get onto is that if I feel like it depends on the drink, because if you then get an advert for a Glenfiddich or a whiskey or a Scotch. It's not promoting.
You're an older man,
It's wise. It's smooth.
I imagine that was winter though. I feel like Corona is a nice summer drink. Maybe whiskey is more like winterish, cold.
But then do you associate the winter with elderliness and summer with youthfulness?
Yeah, you kind of do.
I think
you do.
Or maybe like the start of something. Sometimes feels like the start of like a new chapter. Exactly. Yeah.
That's what summer's all about. Just enjoying yourself. Whereas winter's just kind of reflects old age. You just had enough of it after a week.
So the clear solution, however,
is to just keep drinking. The issue is when you stop.
But the issue is drinking too much altogether.
Right.
So if you drink every day, obviously you're gonna start getting liver issues.
Yeah.
And if you mix up maybe alcohol one day, meth the next day, heroin afterwards, a little bit of coke on Thursday.
Yeah, let's definitely get demonetised now.
Yeah, well, on Friday, say a skeletal muscle laxant. We've all been there. We'll take them. We've all been there. But then the damage is going to different parts of your body.
That's true. If you just slow weight,
you're cycling through. I'm only drinking once a week. I'm drinking every Monday or whatever. So I'm a healthy man.
Meth Monday.
Meth Monday, exactly. Oh,
Thirsty Tuesday.
We've gone from Mooch Monday into Meth Monday.
Whacked up Wednesday. You can go all day on this.
Smack Saturday.
Absolutely.
What was the initial question?
I think we've done enough. I think that was a good shout, better than last week, Clay. I'm happy with that, mate. Let's move on. We don't want this episode to be as long as
all about Clay. We don't want to talk about Clay.
So we're gonna move on to more alcoholic chat.
It's quite
as uni students, that's pretty much anything we have to our personality. We're gonna talk about our favourite and least favourite spirits.
Right.
It's quite a hotly debated subject. I think it depends on the person. So we're gonna each say our top 2 and our bottom 2 spirits. Jack, as you're the guest, you can tell us your bottom 2 spirits to start with.
Yeah, okay, go on. My bottom spirit is Sambuca. Sambuca is a horrific drink that tastes of bad cough medicine as a child. It's bad memories. It's what you associate with sickness and dying.
Christ.
So yeah, Sambuca, too sweet, ridiculous, stupid drink. Should not be invented.
Gin.
Gin, similar story. It's not too sweet, but the way it tastes like they've mixed like grass in with it. Some shit. It tastes too earthy for me.
Yeah.
Those are my bottom 2 spirits. Yeah.
You can take the floor.
Right. I just need before we dive into this, I want to clear some parameters up first. Are we talking straight?
I'm talking straight.
I think we should just anything because like different spirits have their own straight.
It mixes up for me.
I think you should just
go straight.
Say what you want to say. What do you have a bigger agenda on?
We're talking straight.
Yeah.
I think it's different if you do it.
I can't. Because this is why I change things. I cannot do vodka straight anymore.
Nah,
I'm getting too old
I'm
for
the
that.
same.
I do somewhat agree with that, but I wouldn't have that on my bottom 2 because with mixer.
That's what if I drink straight vodka. That's what I mean. If with mixer, it would be like
I think you should just have it.
With mixer,
Oh,
I'd have it in a club. I'd have it
But
in a club.
I do agree. I feel
But
like
straight vodka,
yeah,
unflavoured straight vodka shot, I can have one.
It tastes like you're 16, 17,
Yeah.
and you're doing it fucking
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
garden before some like party or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
I agree. No.
And as much as I hate to admit it, whiskey.
Really?
I can. I'm not. I'm just
Nice
not.
controversial.
I don't think I've got the testosterone for it.
Fair enough.
So that.
Yeah.
Episode. Yeah.
Whiskey's a middle one for me. I don't think whiskey is an awful drink.
It's just burnt.
Yeah. But I think in terms of like some people, I feel like think going into it, it's gonna be like the more like higher price shit will be so much nicer.
Yeah.
It's actually not that much nicer.
It just tastes more of.
Yeah. It's actually just like fucking aged in like an oak barrel or some shit.
It
You
tastes
know?
of wood.
Exactly. They make it taste more of wood. So I feel like you kind of.
Sambuca's very close to the bottom there.
Yeah,
We got on to Sambuca. So my bottom two, I don't have Sambuca in there because I don't mind Sambuca. It settles in stomach. It doesn't taste nice, but it settles in stomach.
Get them out of podcast.
Right, so my bottom spirit is kind of like the reason why you gave for vodka. Like I don't really get PTSD from vodka. I definitely get PTSD from Jaeger.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that I can't have a couple of Jaeger bombs here and there. You know, everyone does it. It's the most
Striker
easiest
bombs
drink.
this season.
Yeah, obviously.
Can't afford it,
Obviously.
yeah.
But just makes me think of when I've thrown up in the past. I think I've ever thrown up and not had a few Jaegers. Just that shit is just too sweet, and the energy drink aspect. Now, I don't mind a vodka monster, but the
Yeah, you wake up
Yeah.
next morning, your heart's like,
Oh
going
no, yeah,
full
it's
of
just
calories.
fucked up. That shit should not be mixed up with,
Worse
with
than
the
Coke.
depressant.
It's the same as when you get like a vodka Red Bull though.
Yeah, but I don't mind a vodka Red Bull.
But I see the thing is,
Red Bull in clubs.
the issue is though, Jaeger and Red Bull actually it does taste good. I don't like it
Yeah.
on its own, but with a fucking Red Bull, holy
It's
shit,
too
Jaeger's
sweet for me.
fucking nice.
I'm not a massive sweet tooth when it comes to alcohol, so that's the bottom. And then my second bottom is also gin. Just don't really drink it that often. Just doesn't. I mean, gin's fine. It doesn't taste offensively bad. I just would never ever order it. Like there would be never a situation right. Yeah, I want a gin. It's just never in my wishes.
Yeah, you never buy it. Yeah, I get what you mean.
So
Right.
should we talk about the top two now? I mean, should I just
Yeah,
do
go on.
opposite order?
Go
So,
Go on, mate.
my top two spirits are, to start with, I'm going to talk about my favourite shot and my favourite thing that I like to mix with something else. So my favourite shot is tequila.
Right.
Just fun, it's social,
Good.
you get the salt, you get the fat lime, shot, tastes nice, does the job, gets you fucked up.
It's dangerous. The salt thing. I've seen so many people get kicked out of
Yeah.
clubs from
'Cause
pouring
people
salt
just-
on their hands.
Yeah.
Oh, so it looks like a
It looks
lime or
like
something.
Coke.
Yeah.
No, it's just, you got to have that tequila is. Some people have it, some people don't. And then in terms of my favourite spirit with like a mix, I'd buy rum the most, but if I have a nice whiskey, not just your Jack, like if you have a nice whiskey,
Yeah.
I think that's my favourite spirit.
Yeah.
Because I could also drink
That's
whiskey
fair.
on its own with a bit of ice. I think that tastes nice. It's nice. It's a nice whiskey. I
I
wouldn't do
respect
that
that.
with any other spirit. I don't think.
Not
So,
the
Yeah,
balanced
I
experience.
agree.
no.
You can't do that with
Yeah.
like vodka or something.
No.
It's just not drinkable.
It's not.
It was that mango, you know, in spoons, they've got that double bells with mango.
Oh yeah,
monster.
bells is just
Oh,
fucking
that
vile.
sounds so shit.
Oh my god, bells.
Right, so
Mango
I think-
Monster by itself sounds fucking awful.
so I think I agree. I think tequila just like for vibes,
Yeah.
if nothing else. Like it is just it's very
It's the best
social.
shot.
Yeah,
It's the
It's
best
summer. And you just do it with people because I feel like every other shot you are just a bit of a sad fuck.
Yeah. Tequila's
Yeah, it's you know you do what you mates.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then rum would be my other one, and that's
Yeah.
straight or
Yeah, rum would be my third for
Well,
sure. It's the one I buy the most. So.
White
Dark
rum,
rum,
one dark
dark
rum.
rum.
Yeah, I don't like white rum. Spiced or dark rum. Yeah. Agreed.
Right, I'll be boring here. My favourite is also tequila. I feel like you get free shit with it.
Yeah,
Salt and
you
lime.
get free
That's
shit.
what I'm saying.
bang for your buck.
Exactly, bang for your buck. Lime's nice. The lime actually literally gets rid of the taste of it, so
Yeah.
just too easy to do. And then my second is I like white rum. White rum in like a nice cocktail or something.
Yeah, in a cocktail. Yeah, no, no.
That's what
I
I
do just as Bacardi though.
I can't do a pina colada.
So yeah, that tastes nice to me. I don't have a bad memory.
I like a pina colada.
Can't do
And they have
pina
one or two. We want to throw up 'cause it's too sweet. but
Yeah, it's too much.
a
Drink
holiday,
a lot.
you've got a pina colada.
You don't like coconut,
I can't
but you do a mango monster.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Brilliant.
Right, well, there you go. So, final segment, which should probably take up most of the time. It's uncomfortable conversations, but it's round one. So today we're doing conspiracy theories
I don't
because they are uncomfortable conversations. So Jack's going to start us off, I think, because he's got one that he particularly wanted to talk about.
Well, this isn't even a conspiracy theory. It was a conspiracy theory, and then it got proven later. So,
I still want to hear the story. So
Yeah, well, let's see. In the 1960s, the Canadian government were worried about homosexuality, right?
Right.
And obviously, 1960s and that kind of time. So they hired a uni professor to make a gaydar, to detect if people going to the army were gay or not. And it worked by showing pupil response to gay porn. So they exposed soldiers to gay porn before they went to the army to test if they were gay or not, and more than 400 people were banned from the army for this.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
That's awful.
Imagine trying to join the army and they're like, right, we're going to now measure if your pupils expand when you watch this gay porn.
Why is it so like? Surely they needed people for the army though. Why do
Yeah,
they give a fuck?
you can't have, they were worried about gay people, you know. They were,
That's mental.
especially in World War II.
Now
Like,
60s.
they were fucking worried
That's
about
so
that shit,
fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's weird that that's only 60
You wouldn't,
years
you wouldn't
ago.
associate Canada with that kind of
No,
behaviour
exactly.
as well.
Yeah.
That was
Other countries.
worldwide, wasn't it?
Yeah, like
Canada.
Canada
Yeah.
is a Western country. You know, it's not really got that much bad press. I don't think.
No,
Not in this country anyway.
but it is kind of interesting, like the way people thought 6
Yeah.
years ago. They thought
60 years
that
ago.
you
It doesn't
could
feel like
make a
anything,
gay
that's
dog.
like grandparents.
Yeah. Like yeah.
That's mental to think how soon ago that was.
meant to think that they also thought they could make a working gaydar as well.
Yeah, Jesus. So simple.
Yeah.
It's mental, like, just in the last 60 years to see how much, like,
Yeah.
not only just as people, but like how much,
Attitude
like,
change,
as society as well.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, technology-wise as well.
Yeah.
for
You
sure.
go visit your grandparents at Christmas and that, and
Tell them to shut the fuck
Do
up.
you think-
It's
yeah, I
like
mean, like,
this.
this is probably the shit that they were told when they were kids. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Do you guys think technology now like moves on like exponentially still? Because you know it's like rapidly growing, or do you think we've reached
Obviously,
like a
there's-
plateau?
it's
I
not
think it's
plateau,
not plateau
but
fully, but it's
It's not going to
I
have the
think,
same
I think
boots.
it's
is it?
curling around. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that.
Because you have to think like the people like 3,000 years ago were living like effectively the same as people like 1,000 years ago. You know, there were long times without technological development. I wonder if we're like in one of those now, or if we're still
Still
like,
rough.
yeah, or it's still expanding.
And you've got like Musk and that spearheading it. You
Yeah,
can't, like,
yeah.
you- That guy's going to slow down anytime soon.
No, but I wonder how far away we actually are from that. You know, because it's still
You can't
pretty long.
innovate.
I think there's only so much more we can. I think it's going to plateau a bit, and then we'll hit space age, and it'll just do that again.
Yeah.
It's
I
way
agree.
That's how most things go. These kind of trends.
I think once you develop like quick space travel, or maybe like I don't know, freezing people going to planets, you know.
Should we talk about some more like general conspiracy theories that get talked about a lot? I'm just give a view of whether they could be true or could be just a bunch of waffle. So let's.
I mean, linking straight in, you can go man on the moon.
Yeah, that was one of them I was going to say. Let's go
Yeah,
man on
what a
the moon.
segue.
Well, let's get some opinions.
So I mean, like, so let's just say, like, obviously,
I don't know much about it.
I think that obviously someone has been on the moon by this point. I didn't want to debate that. I think
Yeah.
that is more the 1969, American
That landing.
Buzz Aldrin.
What was it all? Because I've seen like
Armstrong just landing on the moon. Was that fake? Because I would say like one of the things that I know about it, like people have said that there's no atmosphere up there that would be able to like wave the American flag like it does in the film.
not like no wind.
Yeah, there's not enough atmosphere for it to be waving like it is.
That's mental.
So people think that it was just in a studio basically,
Yeah.
and that's one of the main things I've.
Do you
seen.
think though, if they were going to do it in a studio, that these like whether they've got you to the moon or not, these are some of the like world's leading scientists.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd think they'd have the brains to then think that
Yeah, you're not wrong.
these
Yeah.
things wouldn't
Surely
happen.
you wouldn't slip up.
The issue is though, some of the like because they released like a photo catalog of it, right? Some of the photos are like made up. Some of them are
Really?
taken in Earth, like of astronauts like on the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember why. I think it's just NASA propaganda. But like that's the issue. Like some of them are fake. I think some of them are like most of them are real. But the issue is then conspiracy theorists can like point to those.
I mean, like some of the motivations for why they would have done it is like
Yeah, obviously it
it
makes
was,
sense.
it was cold, it was a Cold War. They were
Crumbs
against
there.
Russia, and it was a space race. And I think Russia were the first people to send someone into space. They didn't reach the moon, but they were like the first to like 1962 or something. So obviously it was then a race to the moon because that was the next big achievable objective.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for America to, as propaganda, say, oh look at this is what democracy can do instead of communism, and
Yeah, but
that's
there's
why they
obviously-
would have done it.
There's
I mean,
the agendas
there's
there.
motivations to do it, right?
Yeah, and there's like you can see the breadcrumbs to why people conspire. against
Yeah, it's not one of the most
it.
ridiculous conspiracies that I've heard. Like, there's obviously a
I've seen when they're like I can't say I've done that much research into it, but when you see like videos on it. You see like, I don't know, I've seen like clips of like cameras in the background and like flashes that look like
Yeah.
lights.
I don't know. I don't think they would have slipped up that badly.
That's what I mean. It almost
It's
looks
just
like
televised
yeah.
event
people
for
looking for a
everyone to watch,
conspiracy
like.
theory that might. I don't know.
That's the thing, yeah. So it is just easy to latch on to like mistakes for that, isn't it? As a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Easy to focus on like the negatives of the whole thing, and
Yeah.
and you like it's easy to lean. I just say like the things going on with Russia, it's like easy to believe why they would.
Yeah. That's what they did.
I must think, yeah.
I don't believe this one.
I'm a naysayer as well on this one.
I think it happened. I think they just want to go. I think they went to the moon.
I think it definitely has happened since.
Yeah, obviously, no, of course. Yeah, that's obvious. Like, it's definitely happened since, but that was the famous.
And you think something would have come out since? Like,
That is the issue, yeah.
Yeah.
about like the astronauts and stuff.
The issue with, yeah, exactly. Think about how many people, like NASA as well. There's like
Yeah.
10,000 scientists, some ridiculous number,
Yeah.
that have to keep a secret for like the rest of their
I
lives.
think this is one of the knockdown arguments for most conspiracy theories. isn't it?
Yeah,
Having
but
some
no,
keep
yeah,
quiet.
no, but that many people can't keep a secret.
Yeah.
There's been like studies on people keeping secrets and that, and it's like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but like way less people reveal secrets way more quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what makes it tough to believe. I think just the number of people that have to be involved in it.
I think a more down to earth one, Princess Diana. Now, some people say that her car accident wasn't a mistake. It wasn't just an accident. It was planned because of the royal family. She'd obviously just got divorced from Charles a year earlier, and she was popping off in the media a little bit. You know, not trying to accuse the royal family, but they're not exactly the most.
They're not clean, are
They aren't clean. You know,
No. Yeah,
Prince
right.
Andrew is about.
I met him.
Did he?
Yeah, I shook his hand.
Oh,
and I kind of
right.
regret it since.
Yeah.
And I was only about 12.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Prime.
I'm sure that's why I shook your hand. Yeah. Prime
I'm
time.
gonna shake his hand.
A bit worried about where those hands have been more than anything else. But I think at the time, I do understand where that's come from though as well, because she was the kind of like the people's
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Princess, yeah.
And you can kind of understand where, like, I don't know, you can see both sides of it. It's very dodgy, and the whole Charles Camilla story. I think post the Queen, obviously the Queen wasn't perfect, but post the Queen, the royal family,
Yeah.
just a bit fucked.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I think they lack a like stable leading figure. They've all like done crazy like
nuts shit.
shady shit in the past. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like Diana. It's very easy to believe both sides of it. I feel. It is also very easy to believe that she was drunk, the driver was a little bit drunk, and they just hit at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, you know, car crashes happen. And
Exactly. Yeah.
sometimes, like, especially because she was so like beloved, it's like easier for the. Not easy, like it makes more sense for the public to think it was someone else's fault rather than just the
It
fact that
eases.
Yeah,
this person
yeah.
thought
People
was so
want to believe that it
perfect.
wasn't an
Exactly.
accident,
Yeah.
But I think if you come back to like the thing we say about the moon, like thousands and thousands of people would have to keep a secret. I think with this, like, not many people would have to know about this.
No,
You
I
like you
agree.
said,
And the royal
the
family-
Queen is ordered, or Charles has ordered it, and then him, like the driver knows as well.
And that high society.
I agree, but yeah.
scares me.
But then who organised it and who was involved in it? You know, that's the question.
Yeah.
Like, is you said the driver then purposely crashed the car?
Yeah, what's the
Who-
benefit
Yeah,
of it?
maybe they got a big payoff for their family, or
Well, surely that would have been like.
So suicide mission though.
Yeah.
That does make it tough to believe. Like,
Yeah.
the question is who exactly? Well, you know, did they crash into another car or the side of a road?
It was in a tunnel, wasn't it?
It was in a
Paris,
tunnel, yeah.
So,
But I can't remember if it was
I think it was just into the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
because that's the thing. If it was just into the wall, then you'd have to say it was the driver who's involved. So it would be a suicide mission effectively.
And with the whole stuff with like the paparazzi at the time as well,
Yeah.
and
That
like
do-
it's not because they were like, it's not to blame, but like they played such a big part in the whole thing. You can kind of believe more that rather than because if it was just some random driver that whacked into a wall, but it's the fact that he's getting chased down by paparazzi that can quite easily be arranged.
Yeah.
Especially about like the thing going on about like NASA, like NASA's got working people there. And I think I'd believe less that would be.
Yeah.
So I feel there's more. I don't. There's more that could go wrong, more that could get leaked when you've got like I don't want to say normal people, but you know what I mean, like the public working in an organisation. Whereas like something like the royal family, which is all very like
elite.
They could hide that. Like
it's very easy to cover
realistic.
it up.
I don't.
It could be, yeah.
Again, on this one, I don't know if I believe it. But I think it's more believable. I think
Yeah.
it's not like with any realms.
It's horrible to think that it would go to such an extent just because of it's family, like it's over family drama,
Yeah.
It's not like over like a Cold War that was
Yeah.
going on. It was just simply over they didn't like.
Yeah.
But then she was already divorced from Charles.
But she was still, you know,
She was still in the media
she was a
publicly.
loose
Yeah,
thread.
Yeah, I think the royal family, like in the 90s as well, was quite turbulent.
yeah.
It wasn't good.
See,
There was
the
a lot of
Queen
shit
called
going
Get
on.
a lot of
shots.
bad
The
press.
Queen killed that.
Hey, did he?
Potentially.
You had it here first.
Maybe.
Well, not first, but
Was he? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any other conspiracy theories? 9/11. Now this right.
9/11 is the most interesting.
I
one.
actually think that out of all of the most popular conspiracy theories, I think that 9/11 is the one that I would
really.
For sure.
tend to actually think, okay,
I don't
this
know
was a
much about
hoax. I watched a
Right.
documentary like a few years ago
Yeah.
when I was a bit younger, and some of the stuff like in there was believable. Like those
Suspicious,
people that were out there at the scene, they were like, okay, that doesn't, you know, 'cause it's
Yeah.
like they heard explosions. Like if you watch the way the towers, I know this is the whole thing like jet fuel can't melt steel beams, which you know that's been, I think physicists have debunked that since.
Yeah.
It wasn't expected to happen, but it can happen, especially given
With
the
such high-
impact. Yeah, like but I think the thing that is hard to understand is these planes crash like near the top of the towers, and instead of the towers just going like that part of the tower just falling
The whole
off,
thing.
the whole
Yeah.
thing just goes,
Yeah.
and that they were doing like works on the
The elevator.
World
shots, yeah.
Trade Center like a month beforehand. They
That's
were,
what I was gonna say,
no
yeah.
one was in. They were just doing renovations.
A week
Why
before,
couldn't they
yeah.
have put explosives in there? You know, and that's
Exactly.
one of the things.
It's why couldn't they? But why would they?
Because they had the motivation with Iraq. They wanted to
Yeah.
go to war with Iraq.
Over what?
Just
They
Just for beef.
yeah, they just had beef. Like it was just oil and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it
was
one of
oil,
those big
yeah.
political things. Yeah.
I think it's very suspicious that there were elevator workers. The elevator was like off limits, like for a week before the thing. So it's very easy to plant like some
Yeah.
kind of explosive in there. They found thermite as well at the site of the explosion, which is very suspicious. You know, you don't get thermite in those
Yeah.
in that type of thing. I was found suspicious. They found the passport. They found the like in a plane fully crashed, and there was an unburned passport they
Yeah.
found of the terrorist. You know,
Yeah.
identifying who he was. I found that suspicious. as well, you know.
That's a bit dodgy.
And the issue is, I feel like for this one, I see the most motivation
Yeah.
because Bush supplied guns and weapon like funding for that war. I think it was something like I can't remember the exact number. It was like $100,000 to arm one individual soldier. So imagine how much profit you're making off that if you go to war with Iraq. I think at the very least, it's a very lucky coincidence that the government took advantage of. For,
There was big motivation to
Yeah.
it. And I think when I watched the documentary as well, like, so you've also got the two main towers, which is the famous. But basically, there was this smaller building, it's like Building 7.
Yeah.
So like all the debris off these buildings like fell onto this building, and this building like it hadn't been crashed into. Nothing that obviously the hot heat of the debris would be there, but nothing that hot would have been there because there was no plane, there was no jet fuel, and this building also just went and just fell down, and like it was on fire for a long time. Don't get me wrong, but just if a building's on fire, it won't just go like that's dodgy.
Yeah.
Especially when it's not had anything crash into it, like, and it's not even a tall building, like, it just doesn't.
And like the media campaign afterward, it was almost like from what I've like seen, it was almost like pre-prepared.
Yeah, they were
Like,
all
it was just
over it.
instantly like,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
we need to.
Mm.
I've been like, you haven't seen anything like it since.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was very interesting. The third plane it didn't actually land in the building.
Yeah.
You know, they crashed into the field.
Pentagon.
It was aimed at the Pentagon. I mean, that's crazy that the people in that plane managed to overthrow. Yeah, it's actually just the government changed their like what's it called, like rules of hostage situations in planes after that. If like terrorists are threatening people in the cabin, the pilots still now won't open the door even if they kill them. But before they were instructed to like obviously save lives first.
Yeah.
Because obviously with 9/11, you don't want to give up the cockpit because you could potentially be like
Losing
losing
lives.
even more lives. Yeah. But crazy they somehow managed to wrestle that back and gave up their lives to save, I mean, easily thousands of people.
Oh yeah. It's very
It was
impressive.
incredibly impressive.
Is there like, it was Bush at the time, right?
Yeah.
Is there not like, because why would he go for the Pentagon?
I think it's just. I mean, yeah. I mean, hasn't the Pentagon been rebuilt since?
The Pentagon wasn't injured though.
No, yeah, it wasn't. But
So
I mean, yeah. Again, this
thing
could just be.
itself.
That is a good counter argument, but it could also just be another part of the agenda. Like, the American people have risen up against these Middle
True.
Eastern terrorists.
Yeah.
Like,
And I guess if you're claiming it is
Go for
planned,
that kind of thing.
yeah. If you're claiming it is planned, then I guess you could say that plane that crashed was planned as well. And they were like, oh, it was aiming for the Pentagon, but it never arrived. You know?
Yeah.
You could say that without actually ever meaning to land in
And
the
also
Pentagon.
just like how the three. Yeah, I know that airport security wasn't the same back then. But how could 3 different planes all go into like towards or past New York all get fucking hijacked?
Yeah.
Like that is
Well, to be fair,
pretty crazy.
yeah, TSA is very bad though. Something like 90% of stuff gets through the TSA. That's in the present day.
Yeah.
Pre 9/11,
Yeah,
think about how much.
Airport security was
If
not
it's
there.
already 90% that get through, think about how you could carry a fucking machine gun through, like, not even in a fucking box or anything.
That's mental.
Interesting. Clay, have you got any conspiracy theories for us to dissect, or any more that just springs to the top
Just
of
make
your
one
head?
up, bro. Fuck it.
Make one up.
Conspire.
Yeah, exactly. They have to start somewhere.
Or have you got an opinion on any of the ones we've discussed already?
I think, I mean, I don't know a lot about the 9/11 stuff, but I think I'm a bit of a Diana fan, so I can see that one maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Respect it. Respect it. What other conspiracy theories? Let's do one more. What can we cook?
What can we cook?
We could do JFK, we could do
Aliens.
aliens.
Yeah.
Area 51.
I do actually have one more story.
Oh, go on. No, the story would be better.
This is another UFO that's unexplained, right? This is from 2006, and there's videos online of fighter jets looking at this like unidentified. It's literally like a little blob, and it moves in like ways that we can't physically understand yet. Like it moved quicker than the fighter jets and has outmaneuvered them.
Yeah.
And in 2020, this is the videos from 2007. In 2020, the fucking US military released documents saying, confirming it was an unidentified object, confirming it was UFO, being like, we don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
It's crazy this exists.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
very interesting.
It's wild that we've like got that on video and the government are admitting.
Yeah,
We got
they
no idea.
have to admit that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. It's not some like doctored footage of like. It's crazy.
I definitely do believe aliens.
I mean, they have to.
Yeah,
In
like,
some
they have
shape or
to.
form.
They have to believe.
They have to exist somewhere in the universe, of course.
Just, can they reach us? Can obviously.
Can they see us
reach
without
right
us
now?
seeing them?
Yeah, and like there's all that stuff about like the pyramids and the seven
Yeah.
wonders, like
I
how
don't
these
quite
things
believe all
built
that
with
stuff,
just
yeah.
slave labour, like all these ridiculous
Yeah.
structures, and I think they all got like that magic. What's the magic number? I don't know. There's something called the magic
Oh,
number.
yeah,
They
yeah.
all possess like that in their geometry or something, and like that's not what humans could have understood because we only started to understand it like very much.
Delving into some proper Illuminati stuff.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like,
Which, yeah, it's interesting. I think pyramids are quite like explainable though. I think men stack rocks.
yeah, but these rocks.
do you know
are
what?
fucking
Yeah, the
huge.
rocks are ridiculous, but like with, for example, Egypt, Aztecs, Mexico, whatever, you know, all the pyramid style buildings,
Yeah.
I think are explainable with ancient manpower and the fucking caveman brain.
Yeah.
Come on, if you had 30,000 slaves and you knew you were gonna die, you'd want to build some fuck off monument to yourself
That's-
instead of doing anything else. If you have the money, these pharaohs were egotistic enough. I think they would want to do that.
It's definitely plausible.
Yeah, but I also think that I don't think I'd want to find aliens. You know, I think
Just leave
yeah.
them be.
Yeah,
you stay over there.
My
honestly,
lifetime,
I
unless
think.
it's just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, even with like humans, like we've been fucking fighting since the beginning of time when we found each other, you know, in
Yeah.
tribes. I think if we find aliens,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a good sign of what's going to happen.
Get some, like,
Think about the
Avengers
races,
shit
yeah.
going on.
I think it's very unlikely that we're going to have a peace treaty and like
Yeah.
be friends. I think if aliens are more powerful than us, then they'll wipe us out in minutes, or you know, we'll wipe them out. I really
And
do
if
think
they reach us before we reach them, that means they're more
they're more advanced than us.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to fuck around with that.
No, no.
Yeah. I mean,
Brilliant.
anything else, gentlemen?
I think we can end on quite a
We've
quite a conspiring note.
That is a very
Right.
conspiring
Right.
note.
Right.
Ed.
Right.
Need some food for thought.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments on some of those or anything. What do you want to see next week?
Good work, play.
Whatever. In fact, no, we aren't going to be doing a podcast the next 4 weeks because Easter break, but we're going to do our official season 1 in the summer because this has only been the pilot season.
Okay.
We can get full on season
Yeah,
1 going
yeah,
next term, and yeah,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Well,
So-
thank you very much for coming on, Jack.
No worries, gentlemen.
It's been
a
an
pleasure,
honour.
of course.
Yeah.
Let's do another one sometime.
Got to. If you get
We'll
another
get
fight-
right around next year and you'll be back.
I have to do another fight together.
Right, so remember to like, subscribe, tell your mates about Giving It Beans podcast, whatever, and yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
See you next time.
Peace.